Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets the Queen of Denmark on her birthday. The Sultanate starts the implementation of VAT on commodities and services from tomorrow. And 14 deaths and 1,035 new COVID-19 cases are registered today in the Sultanate. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of greetings to Her Majesty Queen Margaret II of Denmark on her birthday. The Sultanate will start tomorrow the implementation of a value-added tax VAT on commodities and services with the exception of 488 commodities. An additional 5% will be added to the final price value of commodities subject to VAT. The Consumer Protection Authority stressed that shops or commercial centers have no legal right to implement the VAT without obtaining a tax certificate from the tax authority. The certificate must be displayed in a place that consumers can notice and have the right to request it when needed. The authority has intensified its efforts to monitor the commodities that are subject to taxation and the increasable rate that would comply with the referenced regulations. The Ministry of Health announced that 1,035 new cases of COVID-19 have been registered in the Sultanate today, bringing the total number to 176,668 cases. The total number of deaths reached 1,821. The total recovered cases reached 156,845, which is 89% of the total recovery rate. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 786, among which 267 are in intensive care units. The novel coronavirus has killed nearly 3 million people since December 2019. At least 138.2 million cases of coronavirus have been registered. Yesterday, 13,427 new deaths and 776,939 new cases were recorded worldwide. The United States is the worst affected country with 564,405 deaths out of more than 31.4 million cases, followed by the US, Brazil with 361,884 deaths, Mexico 210,812, India 173,123, and Britain with 127,161 deaths are amongst the hardest hit countries. Asia has reported 290,431 deaths, the Middle East 121,490, and Africa 116,741 deaths. Still to come in our news bulletin. The silverware industry is an important part of the Omani cultural heritage, and its products are highly sought after by all community members.
COVID-19 everyday precautions. Follow these easy steps to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. If you sneeze or cough, cover your nose and mouth with a tissue or use your elbow. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Clean and disinfect surfaces around your home and work frequently. Keep a distance between yourself and others if you must be in public. Wear a cloth face covering over your mouth and nose when around others. Carry a small bottle of hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Getting vaccinated is one of the many steps you can take to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Protection from COVID-19 is critically important because for some people, COVID-19 can cause severe illness or death. Vaccines work with your immune system so your body will be ready to fight the virus if you are exposed. After you've been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, you should keep taking precautions in public places or when you are with unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 and following everyday precautions to protect yourselves and others will offer the best protection from COVID-19. Get vaccinated against COVID-19 to protect yourself and others.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. German biotech firm CureVac said it has seen a number of requests for its experimental COVID-19 vaccine. The requests have been coming in from governments and international organizations as concerns over the rare side effects from the AstraZeneca vaccines. The company's large supply contract so far is secured by the European Union in November, up to 405 million doses of CureVac's two-shot vaccine, which has yet to win regulatory approval. Europe's choppy vaccine rollout hit more trouble this week after Johnson & Johnson suspended shipments of its COVID-19 shot and Denmark suspending the AstraZeneca over cases of blood clots. CureVac said that it would start testing its COVID-19 vaccine on adults as young as 12 at the end of the month as it gets ready to publish initial efficacy results for adults in the second quarter. A top official from the World Health Organization said today that Europe has had more than 1 million deaths from COVID-19 and the situation remains serious, with around 1.6 million new cases reported each week in the region. Addressing recent concerns about vaccines, Dr. Hans Kluge said the risk of people suffering blood clots is far higher for people with COVID-19 than people who receive AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine. Kluge said he pointed to early signs that transmission may be slowing across several countries and cited declining incidence among the oldest people. He added that the proportion of COVID-19 deaths among people over 80 who have been prioritized for vaccines had dropped to nearly 3% or 30%, the lowest level in the pandemic. One killed and a dozen injured at a market in Baghdad by an explosion that sent a cloud of black smoke above the area. According to Iraq's military, the powerful explosion rocked the market in the east side of the city today. The blast occurred in the city's Sadr City area in the Habibiyah neighborhood. In January, twin suicide bombings ripped through a busy market in the Iraqi capital, killing more than 30 people and wounding dozens. Cars in the United Arab Emirates can now be refueled wherever they are thanks to a new smart connected technology. It means drivers can have fuel delivered directly to their location instead of having to queue at a busy gas station. This new on-demand fuel delivery application is the result of a partnership between Ford Motor Company and Dubai-based mobile fuel company CAFU. Ford vehicles and cars from its luxury brand Lincoln, launched from 2017 onwards, can now order fuel directly through the built-in infotainment system. When the fuel gauge hits 20% or less, a pop-up refuel prompt automatically appears on the infotainment screen. This lets the driver book the next available CAFU refueling slot once they have entered the vehicle's location. Then a CAFU refueling truck travels to the vehicle with the requested fuel. CAFU says the number of drivers using its service has dramatically grown since its launch in 2018, with 2 million fills up to last November. The Clearance and Settlement Regulation and executive statutes for the completion of mandatory medical insurance, My Insurance, stopped the discussions at the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Capital Market Authority, CMA. At their first meeting this year, the board also discussed the most important projects, decisions and accomplishments that were achieved by Oman's Center for Governance and Sustainability. Muscat Securities Market, and Muscat Clearing and Depository Company. The board was chaired by His Excellency Sultan bin Salim Al Habsi, the Minister of Finance and Chairman of CMA's Board of Directors. Oman oil price June delivery recorded an increase today by $1.62, amounting to $64.32 per barrel. The average price of Oman crude oil April delivery reached $60.85 per barrel, increasing by $6.60 compared to the price of March delivery. The silverware industry is an important part of Omani cultural heritage, and its products are highly sought after by all community members. The following report sheds light on Nasr al-Shikaili, one of the professional silversmiths in the wilaya of Nizwa.
Nasr bin Rashid al-Shikaili, a passionate silversmith in Nizwa Souq. He has been crafting silverware items, pieces of jewelry, antiques, and products of various types and shapes for more than 60 years.
I didn't start in silver straight away. I began in copper. Then I gradually worked in silver. I make many items like woman jewelry and sewing tools. I helped my brother make swords. I also made a gun out of silver.
With deep concentration and attention to details, he hammers the pieces of silver, fitting them into distinctive silverware items that are used to adorn women, men, and household commodities.
In the past, there were 400 silversmiths in Nizwa. I make rare and unique designs. Anyone who works in this craft must be skilled and make the design pen himself.
The gleam and glamour of the artwork that Nasr al-Shikaili produces reflect his mastery, exertion, and eagerness to continue this craft, which requires a steady hand and a lot of patience. The silverware industry is one of the genuine ancient Omani crafts. Practicing this profession does not only contribute to preserving it as an integral part of the authentic Omani heritage, but will also yield a rewarding economic revenue. صالح بخلفان الرحبي، ولاية of Nizwa الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets the Queen of Denmark on her birthday. The Sultanate starts the implementation of VAT on commodities and services from tomorrow. And 14 deaths and 1,350 new COVID-19 cases are registered today in the Sultanate. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here, thank you for watching. Stay safe and good night.